What is up, everybody? TurboVerse here today. So I found this post on Reddit extremely interesting. So apparently, I'm assuming this is like the equivalent to like these GameStop female employees being harassed by customers. I wouldn't even say harassed, so to say, but just being like, I guess the customer finds the girl that's working at GameStop attractive, and then she's just getting tired of the advances, I guess. So let's read this article and talk about it. Let's read this post and talk about it. So it says, GameStop girl, I don't want your number. You're a 16-year-old boy. I'm not a creep. I don't want your number. You're a 30-something-year-old divorced father. We already discussed that I'm in my junior year of college. I don't want your number. Okay. You're in your 20s, but it doesn't matter that you're great for conversation and just looking for a friend. I have a personal policy because all the creeps I decided to give a chance. I do not want your number. Do not write it down and run back into the store and hand it to me. Do not call the store phone and rattle off the number and ask me out for coffee. Do not make a Twitter and Instagram just to follow and DM me. I don't know how to be any clearer about this. I'm not interested. I like to be nice to y'all. I like to have good conversations, but me being a young and blonde and liking video games is not a green light. Okay, it's not just about making a friend. I know it, and you know it. I should really start wearing my, I guess she said, I'm gay lanyard pin again. Hey, so just reading this, she sounds very conceited. just telling her straight, she sounds very conceited. Cause this reminds me of that. Remember when that street harassment thing was very big? It was like that video this one woman did when she was in New York. She was walking down New York and people were like catcalling her or something like that. There was a whole outrage about catcalling culture. But then again, the same woman who complained about catcalling, the same woman who probably would be very upset when they reach like in their 40s and 50s and they get like zero attention from men now, but complain that they do get attention from men while they're younger and they're showing outfits that's very villain. So it's just like a weird thing. It's like women want attention, but they don't want attention at the same time too. So it's like you as a man, you're trying to balance like, I find you attractive, but I want to talk to you, but now you're saying you're a creep. I'm trying to like from trying to when you find a woman attractive, you're a creep now. It's just like this woman sounds very conceited. At first, she's pretty much in a male-dominated industry or a male-dominated hobby. Sure, more women are playing games now or joining a gaming hobby, but it's not a lot still. So it was like if you're a man, you walk to a GameStop, you see an attractive woman, just like any other woman. It don't matter what type of retail store it be, whether you go to the grocery store, you want to ask her for a number, or ask her out for a date. I don't know why she can't just say, "Hey, I'm not interested," and just move on. It's like, why are you a creep for doing so? And then some of these posts, these points that she made too, like you're a 30-something divorced father. What does that mean? Like, so that disqualifies him from like asking women out? Like, what does that even mean right there? Or you're in your 20s, but it doesn't matter that you're great for conversation. I'm just looking for a friend. Sure, I can see if somebody's just saying they're looking for a friend, and it's like it's kind of obvious they're not trying to be just friends with you. Or then again, some of these women just do have like these male orbiters who do just orbit around them. But it's kind of like, if you don't find a dude attractive, you're not trying to date him, just say that, bro. This is the thing. Like women, they don't ask men out. They don't have to pursue they don't have to pursue men for a relationship. Men are usually doing the pursuing. So this post is really condescending. It's just like she feels extremely highly of herself. And it's just like when it's not that's not even the case right here. Just say you're not interested to move on, lady. And then saying she gotta wear a piece of clothing that says that she's a lesbian, pretty much. It's like, come on. It's like this could be the same woman complaining when she's in her 40s and 50s, complaining that she's not getting attention anymore. It's like I think they call it once they hit the wall or something like that. So this kind of post is kind of ridiculous. But let's see some responses though to this. But do you even play games? I just think they look cool. Teach me how to play. Just kidding. I'd rather talk to one of the guys who know what they're doing. Can you recommend a game for girls? Sure, Mortal Kombat, so they grow up and punch the out of guys like you. So she's probably a feminist too. It's like she's a feminist too at this probably. Okay, so apparently she found this comment extremely offensive. And when he said, "Can you recommend a game for girls?" So if I were to ask, like, so if we were to ask a male associate, can you recommend a game for young boys? I don't think they would be offended, but because he asked her a question, can you find me a game recommended for young girls? She will be offended and say, buy Mortal Kombat. It's like this. Obviously, that's not a game that you recommend for some kids. And they're gonna say, so they can grow up and punch the ass out of guys like you. Like this woman is clearly a feminist, and it's like it's just ridiculous. So this thread is just like very, very interesting. Yesterday, I had a late ask about the few 3DS games we had left. I chose Luigi's Mansion. Luigi Mansion transcends gender as one true game to rule us all. Okay. Whenever people just ask me the question, I will look them dead in the eyes and say no. I just like the aesthetic they give. Then give them, are you stupid face? It's usually because I had just spent a long time talking to them about specific parts of a game. So I don't get the point here. What was the original question again? Do you even play games? I don't know. It's like some people could work in like a auto mechanic shop. It's like you would assume somebody, the person working at GameStop would play games. A lot of people probably don't play video games at GameStop, really care that much, or probably a casual gamer. So it's kind of like he's probably asking if you were casual or not. I don't understand why women are just so offended, bro. It's like women get super offended by the most mundane questions that's being asked. Um, So let's read this next post. I even looked openly gay as an androgynous butch woman and doesn't deter these types of dudes, but it suddenly did get a ton of LGBT plus folks coming to my store, which was nice. From personal experience, if any of these dudes stop meeting you in the parking lot or follow you around, go back into the store. Also, now all the dudes are creeps. They're all stalkers now because like this article. This is kind of pissed me off a little bit because it's like you could just say no and keep it moving. This is ridiculous. So now they're making it seem like all men are just harassing them at this point. Like this is so ridiculous. This is all very good advice. I will try to keep it in mind for the future. As ask for help from other female coworkers, I used to do that, but recently they all either got moved or found some better jobs. I'm the one left in the store now. But at least I can still ask for help on this sub. And I'm pretty sure a lot of these women are probably average looking at best too. So it's kind of like, yo, I'm a salesperson doing something 100% unrelated to games, and this is a great way to deal with certain customers. I can confirm this is going to help me out 100%. Thanks for writing this. Really? I used to walk over, let them ask me their questions, pause for a minute, and then look and ask my female coworker the same question word for word. Loved it and loved when I was in ASL and my boss was a woman. If you assumed the big boss was me, pulled pretty much the same game. I made sure to refer to her as boss or some such title. Yeah, so this is a heavy like feminism based post right here. Like, why does it matter if your boss was a female? Then she got like pretty much a big smile on her face if the boss was a female. This is like some heavy feminism, like some heavy feminism based thread on here, which I truly believe feminism is. I don't want to get into politics, but I think feminism is not good for society. Pretty much, I just leave it as that. I'm not gonna expound more into that, but yeah. Um, Some guy walked past my old SL, completely ignoring her, and asked me if I knew about fighting games. I pointed to her and said she's the only one to talk to about that, and he seemed a bit confused at first. Guys used to do that to my old ASL. I would look and say, "Hey, look, she has more platinum trophies than I do. You should ask to talk to her." I can't do that anymore. She's no longer there, and I know more platinums than she does. It looks like these dudes are a lot of like, what do you call those people? Those white knights or male feminists right here. These posts. It's like if they're asking you a question, why can't you just answer the question, bro? It's like, why does everything have to be like, I don't think she knows about video games because she's a woman? Or it's like, why are these posts even like this? Like, what is this thread I'm reading right now? This is so ridiculous. It's like, so we got to the point where, so far we're reading this thread. This to pretty much summarize what I read in this thread so far. People are asking this one GameStop lady out on dates. She can't just say no like a grown adult. just move on with her day. She has to like make this extra stuff. Like people, they're just constantly harassing her and hounding her day by day. And the other, so that's the one point we got so far. The other point is that apparently you get other customers who walk into the store asking these female employees for advice on games for small girls. Then they get angry about that and say, "Hey, I recommend you play Mortal Kombat because why do you think there's some stupid reason they feel that they can't just answer the question?" It's like, man, you're an associate. It's like if somebody asks me a question about what game, if the person likes, I don't know, history or like Greek mythology, I recommend them like God of War or a history based game like Assassin's Creed or something like that. But it's kind of like they get offended about it's just stupid. They get offended about asking about games for young girls, but it's like it's a stupid concept right there. And another point too. Now, what was the other point? I was just at oh yeah. Okay, so when a customer asks another male employee for advice on a video game, he say, "Why are you asking me? Just ask her. She knows more than I do." And it's like typically that's not the case because this industry, like I said, this industry is more male dominated. So you'd assume the other guys will know more about video games than the woman. It's just the obvious assumption. So and just because it's the obvious assumption, you get offended by that. It's like really? It's like I don't know. This stuff that just mentioned just seems like stuff I would not be offended by whatsoever. It's like who cares at the end of the day? You're trying to help the customer out at the end of the day. It's like if you don't want them to ask you out, just move on. Just say no like an adult would. And he says, "Can I speak to your manager, sweetheart?" Sure. Turns around. This would be me, sweetheart. But who's your manager? Uh, this is a stupid post right here too. "So, are you single?" he asks. "Cash or credit?" I reply as his total is due. "Ask if you're available," he asks again. "Cash or credit?" With two customers behind him, asks again. Why not just say you're not interested? Like, why is this a big thing? Why are you just being silent? Why not just say you're not interested and just move on? I don't understand why it's such a big thing. Like, see, this is the thing too. Like, women, they don't pursue men. They don't pursue relationships. They don't pursue men, so they don't know how hard it is for ask somebody else. So this is so annoying, bro. I was like, if you don't want a man to date you, just say no and just move on. It's like, ah. About a month ago, I had a customer come in and point to the Razer Kitty headset and ask if I was a gamer girl. He claimed I wasn't a real gamer girl. I told him I play a lot of Animal Crossing and Zelda games. But then also told me he recognized me from a game bar that I've been to a few times before the pandemic. Needless to say, I was confused the rest of the day. "You're only a gamer when it's convenient for him. I don't make the rules, neither does he." What? What does it even mean? Seriously, I had one dude literally wait 3 hours outside for my shift to be over. I was closing. He even knew I was happily married. Some people are just so creepy. So you have one guy out of probably how many men do you meet on a daily basis shopping at GameStop? But the men are so creepy. I'm done with this thread, man. I'm done with this. This is like this whole thread was about this GameStop lady who's probably average at best, complaining about dudes hitting on her all day, when she can just say no. That's like, yeah, I'm gonna just include the video right here. And everyone here comments down below about this post right here because this is definitely very interesting. Definitely a very interesting thread right here, nonetheless. But leave your comments, leave a like for this video. As always, thanks for watching and peace.